Good afternoon. Welcome back. So one of the things that Rachel Rienstra mentioned in her Chemlung video was the CDC doctor who allegedly killed himself, Dr. Timothy Cunningham, who is a gay Freemason. And this is a good example of how they fabricate fake news and conspiracies and how they fabricate news stories that inspire conspiracies. And in fact, this specific story was created for the purpose of creating a conspiracy. This Timothy Cunningham was 35 years of age when he went missing on February 12th, 2018. And the time between his disappearance and the anniversary of the total solar eclipse is 191 days. 11 times 9 is 99 for 666. And you can see that 191 days is 6 months and 10 days. Zeros don't count numerology. So 61 is your 733 code for Masonry. And we can confirm this by looking at the alternative time units. We see that 191 days equates to 52.33% of 2018. 5 plus 2 is 7. So there again is your 733 for Masonry. The letter G is the 7th and the 33rd letter of the alphabet when you count twice. And what this shows initially is that this is a crafted, premeditated, planned Freemason conspiracy story. And it is no coincidence that Rachel Rienstra is pushing this hoax, or mentioning it at least, about the CDC doctor, because she released a video on April 21st saying that she had a video she was giving to Richie from Boston about her Chemlung. And April 21st, the time between that day that she released the video, April 21st, and the anniversary of the total solar eclipse was 123 days, which equates to 33.70% of 2018, which is your 733 again, showing that it was a crafted, premeditated hoax. And by the way, February 12th is the 43rd day of the year, and there are 322 days remaining until the end of the year, which is your 322 for Skull and Bones. These are Freemasons. And, that was the first thing that alerted me that she was lying, is she said she wasn't a Freemason while wearing her black and white checkered Mason hat. And if she lied about that, then it's safe to assume that she's lying about every single thing that she says afterward. Now, if we add 33 days to the date of his disappearance, it comes to March 17th, 2018. And if we look at March 17th, we discover that March 17th is the 76th day of the year, and 76 is the code for 733, showing that this fits into their little satanic Freemason web of deception. Now, his parents said that they went from Maryland to Georgia and reported him missing on February 16th. The time between his date of disappearance, the 12th, until the 16th is 5 days. And 5 days makes up 1.37% of 2018. And the number 137 is your 33rd prime. Now, the time between February 16th, the date his parents reported him missing, until the anniversary of the total solar eclipse is 187 days. And 187 days is 6 months and 6 days to give you 66, which is a double 33. Now, the time from his disappearance until the date that his body was found, April 3rd, is 51 days, which is 1 month and 23 days. And that 123 corresponds again to Rachel Rienstra, who published a video on April 21st, 123 days before the anniversary of the total solar eclipse, which is 33.70% of 2018. This 123 means 123 days, 33.70% of 2018. So here again is your 733. So what this really shows, besides the fact that this doctor's death is complete fabrication, he's a fabrication, it also shows that Rachel Rienstra knows that it's a complete fabrication, but yet she's pushing it with this Kemlung hoax. What it shows is that she knows and is participating in a hoax with this Kemlung and her Freemason doctor friend. It just shows how completely deceptive these Freemasons are in Hollywood. I mean, they are completely phony. Now, the time between his body being found, he's not even dead, this is a hoax, on April 3rd until the anniversary of the total solar eclipse is 141 days. 11 times 4 is 44, which might be why they referred to him in this article as a 40 under 40 rising star in Atlanta. They said that he worked on hoaxes like the Ebola hoax and the Zika virus hoax. So he is a hoax doctor who's working on hoax diseases. He had many accomplishments, including co-authoring 28 publications, because the number 28 is a symbol for quadruple 733. So they're using gay Masons in this story. The doctor is a gay Mason. This looks like it was fabricated by media and government. And I think that the reason that they fabricated this story is because they're trying to intimidate somebody. They're trying to intimidate doctors. In the same way that the Michael Hastings story was created, his death hoax was created as a form of intimidation to journalists. Don't dig around. That was the message that they were trying to convey with that hoax. I'm not sure what they're trying to convey with this one, but it definitely has a message attached to the medical community. And more specifically, perhaps people that are working at the CDC. It has a message that they're trying to make this look like they're trying to make it look like he was murdered, even though they ruled it a suicide. They knew people wouldn't buy that because he left his dog at home, yada, blah, blah, blah. But this is a completely fabricated story. It's a propaganda piece directly aimed at doctors, probably at the CDC, for some reason that we're just not aware of. But it definitely has a specific purpose to it. And you can see that the medical examiner ruled on May 22nd that his death was a suicide by drowning, which is a completely ridiculous story. And it just adds fuel to the conspiracy fire. So now they got doctors probably wondering, or people wondering, if somebody's working on something at the CDC that they're trying to keep quiet, or they're doing something they're not supposed to be doing at the CDC, they want to make sure and guarantee people's silence and compliance and non-disclosure. But again, it could be any number of reasons. I'm speculating. But his name does sum to 88 in Pythagorean numerology, which is the code 4733. And the reason why they're doing these propaganda stories against doctors might become more clear as I look into this a little more in depth. And in fact, the other doctors who are mysteriously found dead are also fabricated hoaxes. They're also propaganda pieces. So I'm not sure what they're doing here yet, but it's definitely a propaganda piece as a form of intimidation, in the same way that Michael Hastings' death was a form of intimidation to journalists. I don't know what's going on, but something is going on that they're trying to make sure and keep everyone quiet about with these bogus propaganda news stories. But given how they like to spread fear and they control people through fear, I may be off base here. It may just be a contrived series of news stories. With Michael Hastings, it was one story that they were using as a form of intimidation. But this is like a whole collection of stories. We have holistic doctors and a bunch of people from different backgrounds who are mysteriously dying under suspicious circumstances. So it's all propaganda. None of these doctors are dead, but they're telling people they are, to create conspiracy, to create confusion, and to create a distraction, perhaps. And it wouldn't surprise me if this Dr. Melson, the Kemlung doctor, ends up dead, to add even more intrigue and mystery and conspiracy to the chemtrail lung hoax. But you definitely see Rachel Rienstra. She's definitely pushing all of the government Freemason hoaxes, the media hoaxes. I mean, she works for ABC, remember, and they are central part of propaganda distribution, both the fabrication and distribution of propaganda. So she definitely knows that this is a hoax, but she's pushing it anyway, which calls into question every single thing else that she says. You can bet your bottom freaking last dollar, or bet the whole farm that she's lying about her chemtrail lung experience.